Coming in from Screen Rant, Phase 5 director wants Marvel to make the MCU's Baby Rocket spin-off. This is director Kirsten Lepore. Wants to tell Baby Rocket's story, especially after his past was revealed in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'll just read a little bit about this, John, then we can get into what we think about this. The character's well-developed backstory may be partly why I Am Groot director Kirsten Lepore suggested Rocket Raccoon as another Marvel character who could get the spin-off treatment. When asked by comicbook.com about what other characters might work for the digital short form of I Am Groot series, Lepore first thought of Rocket. She said, "My brain, of course, goes to Guardians first. What would a Rocket one look like? You know, baby raccoon stories." Yeah, I mean, I suppose it would work in that sort of short form. Very similar to I Am Groot series, if that's your thing. My fear is that it might give them ideas to do a backstory film.
Yeah.
Which I don't want. We were mentioning it, John, just before we came on air with this topic, that I don't like films that don't have stakes. And if they're going to go down the road of doing a film like that, they need to introduce engaging characters, additional characters to the film that will have stakes. That's the only way it works. You mentioned, obviously, Solo, John, where there was nothing at stake. Absolutely nothing. The only one I sort of feared for was the female character. I'm trying to remember her name now.
Kira.
Yeah, Kira. Yeah. With obviously Paul Bettany's character. That was probably the most sort of
forget his name.
Tense scene. Yeah, I can't remember, John, but you know, it doesn't really work on the whole. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work because, you know, we've seen the backstory in Guardians 3 as well, so I don't know. I thought it worked well with that because it was sort of filling in the blanks that we were kind of suggesting in Guardians 2, and we got what we wanted. So why would we want more? Even in a short form, I just don't. I'm talking myself out of this. I just don't want to see it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I presume Kirsten Lepore's a female. You never do.
Yeah. She said, yeah.
She said that's fine then, so that's the pronoun she's accepting. I don't
want
to get
in
that.
Like to be dead, yeah.
Yes, very good.
Making me feel like I've never been born, yeah.
I think some people wish they weren't born, the way society's going these days. Just fucking crazy. Stephen, she's hinting that it's raccoon stories, like I Am Groot, which was, I think, a short series of 4 or 5 stories, very short form, 20-minute episodes, I think, animated. So it's a sort of light-hearted way to delve into these backstories. The trouble is with I Am Groot, Groot is... I'm not actually seen I Am Groot, so I can't... I may be talking nonsense here. And if you have seen it, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure Groot didn't have anywhere near as sinister or dark a origin story as Rocket Raccoon has had. And we've already explored it in Guardians 3 brilliantly. You don't really have to see every single milestone in this character's life until he meets Peter Quill.
Yeah.
And Groot, you don't need it. Sometimes less is more. And you mentioned Han Solo. He's the prime example, Stephen. Having that bit of mystery surrounding a character where the audience can fill in the gaps.
And adds to the character, John.
It does, but when you first meet him, you don't know what this guy is. And obviously when he does shoot Greedo first, which he did, then that's after we've seen him speak with Obi-Wan.
That does my head in that phrase though, Han shot first.
Yeah.
In the original film, it was only Han that shot. It wasn't that Greedo was ready to shoot. So it was just Han shot,
but that
not
added,
Han shot first.
But that added darkness to that character, Stephen, and you didn't know where he was going to go when he did tag along with Fluke and obviously Ben on this story, on this sort of journey. It opened up the post.
10,000? Can almost buy our own ship for that.
But who's going to fire, kid? You bet I could. I'm not such a bad pilot. But
it were real.
It opened up the door for that character to potentially backstabbed him at some point in the movie. He was morally ambiguous. You didn't know the full details. You then, if you're a young kid now watching it and you watch the entire backstory, you've humanised Han Solo from the get-go. Whereas that journey happened over the course of 3 movies originally. Even in Empire Strikes Back, he fucks off. He leaves with the money. And you're thinking, right, he's just a vagabond, a scruffy looking airfarer. He's away. And then he comes back and redeems himself at the end again.
New Hope,
comes back. I'm thinking about New Hope. To be fair, Empire Strikes Back, he's there the whole time. till he gets frozen in carbonite. So it's a journey that you go on with the character. This is why you don't have to fill in backstories. You don't need to know every tiny detail, and we've already seen it done perfectly, Stephen, with Rocket. In the 3 Guardians movies, you meet him, he's this wisecracking, tough facade character. He meets up with the Guardians. They're this strange bedfellow sort of group, and they've all got their problems, and they've got what do you call it again?
Baggage.
No, yeah, but there's another term that's relating to a cake, something with a soft tart, a cupcake with a soft centre. Soft tart. Oh, maybe it's a tart. I don't know. This is why you don't need to know every information about Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah,
he may be a little tart. We're never going to find
got
out.
A hungry heart. Yeah.
Also, we go on that journey throughout Guardians, and we just peel back layers and layers and layers. You get to hear about what happened, and then you see the sort of payoff in Guardians 3.
Even the backstory in Guardians 3 didn't go too deep into it either. It just suggested where he came from. You didn't have to see where he came from. He was created. Obviously the treatment of all the animals as well wasn't explored in great depth. The way that they executed the storytelling was enough. You don't have to have everything explained to you to understand the backstory, and I think they handled it well. If you're going to do a spin-off of the backstory, it's, as you said, it's shown too much, and sometimes it takes something away from the character.
It does.
Which is ironic that you're trying to build the character and fill out the character more. It has a negative reaction. It has a negative response. People then are not as connected to the character because they're getting everything explained to them and re-represented to them as well. And I don't like when they do that. They did it with Luke Skywalker. They re-represented this character without filling in the blanks.
Yeah.
For that 30 years, and it was jarring. This is like the sort of reverse engineering of that, where they're telling you too much.
That's another example.
So you've got to find that balance.
Prequel trilogy is another example of filling in backstory, and it loses something because you've got this half-told story. You come in the middle part, you don't know what's really going on with these characters. You then get back. Parts of it's good, but parts of it...
Anakin's turn that didn't really affect me.
No.
Order 66 executed affected me more because it was something I didn't know.
Yeah.
That actual initial turn, the way everything just flipped, with one order, that shocked me more than Anakin's turn. Don't get me wrong, Anakin's downfall was still shocking to watch on screen. Obviously in Mustafa, the last sort of parting of ways between mentor and Padawan was still good to watch things like that. But you knew the end result, and you're more interested to see how does this fit with the original trilogy. How are they going to fit this in and sort of give us that backstory and make it fit?
What I will say though, Stephen, is the Emperor's backstory in those movies was actually a way. That's an example of it working really well. Yeah. Because you see the manipulation of this guy and the development of him, and that does work.
By the time you get to see him in The Empire Strikes Back, his first appearance, and you got to go back to 1980, or obviously if you're the special editions kids, I think you're thinking, who would vote him in?
Yeah.
How did he become emperor? Like, this guy's an evil git, and there's nothing redeemable about him. He's just pure evil. But we get that. We get obviously the politics. We get the manoeuvring in the prequels, and I did like that as well.
Yeah,
and Ian McDermott you've got to give him a lot of credit for pulling that off. It was his performance.
But again, the Emperor, Chief Palpatine's an incredibly complex character who you can go back and fill it in, and it doesn't hurt the character. And the mystery isn't. There's still mysterious elements of that character. He's operating in the shadows.
And you're thinking as well at that point in Revenge of the Sith, I just want to see the Jedi's reaction when they realise they've been played all this time.
Still a hubris.
I just want to see how silly they're going to look, and they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, some of the Jedi shouldn't have been Jedi, let's be honest. I could pick a fucking lightsaber up and do better than these fools.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what Mace Windu was thinking, picking those guys to go and take on.
I've said this before. The guy with the head tails.
Yeah.
In the actual
Kit
canon.
Fisto,
Kit Fisto in the canon is actually from a species which has the ability to see into the future.
Yeah.
They've got premonitive. Premonitive.
Maybe he wanted to die.
So he you could actually see into the future, and he still couldn't stop himself getting knifed with one fucking dash attack.
Yeah, it was terrible.
He felt like a sack of spuds.
Yeah, it was like a pack of Lurpak left out the fridge for all overnight.
That's the way I like it, though. To be fair, see when you leave it in the fridge, it's like a fucking brick. It's impossible. You start trying to spread it onto bread and it's just ripping it to pieces. I'm like, just give it the fucking buds. Give it the buds. That's not fucking fit and proper for a human being anymore.
Give it the buds. Butter than bread, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Bridges done a brilliant bit on that. So people leaving it out or leaving it in the fridge, and it's impossible to fuck. I think it says when they moved into a flat for the first time, things you learn.
Yeah.
You can't spread Lurpak fucking bread. There's nothing spreadable about it. But Stephen, no, I don't want to see this. Rocket is a great character, but the mystery that he has in his past is what makes him so endearing. What shaped him into what he is. This fully fledged character who is tough as nails, is a wisecracker, get incredible wit, but it's also got a soft centre.
Yeah.
Got a lot of baggage and emotional turmoil. We've explored it just enough. James Gunn's a master storyteller. He knows how to balance, like Taika Waititi, the sort of sadness and the jokes and the music and everything, and make it an all-encompassing sort of package.
Yeah.
He knows how to get the balance right. We don't have to explore this character further. He's not a Chief Palpatine. I like Bradley Cooper. He's not fucking Ian McDermott, I'm sorry, in terms of...
That's the other big question, John. Do you think they get Bradley Cooper back to voice it? I don't think they would.
I don't know. Well, Stein, I mean, they've kind of set it up, if you remember, in the end credits scene from Guardians 3, but he's now the leader of the Guardians, while Peter Quill's off having his little fucking therapy session with his grandfather.
That kind of raises the question, who did voice the young Rocket in the flashback scenes? Was it Bradley?
I think he just used that voice sort of modulator to make him sound younger.
I thought his voice was kind of irritating at times. It was kind of nervous sounding. I'm like, that's not.
I think he was nervous, to be fair. He was nervous that geezer, the villain.
Yeah.
I
could not stand him. He was a good villain, don't get me wrong.
See, I was going to speak about that.
I loved the moment where they ripped his face off.
Yeah.
I loved that.
You see what you did to me?
Yeah.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Was that not a line? Star Wars?
He looked like, what's he called? The red face, Hugo Weaving
Red
character.
Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull, yeah. He looked a bit like him.
Yeah, which is...
or Robbie Williams in that video, Rock DJ.
I can't remember that
he
video.
was skinned, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. He looked like a skinned character.
I don't remember that. I don't think I want to remember that.
No, that's terrifying. That is.
I'm not a huge fan of Robbie. Robbie's alright. He's fucking overrated. Overrated. Fucking sand dancer. No talent. Yeah, I take that back.
He's absolutely morphing into Morrissey.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's getting fatter. And he's getting greyer.
Just that quiff as well.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sweating here, by the way.
So am I.
Absolutely. I can't believe it.
It's actually dipping down my back, which is extraordinary.
Extraordinary. It's like that time we were in Lanzarote.
Can you see the sheen? I was speaking about that today because we've got the winds of the Sahara dominating just now.
Sirocco winds.
I went into my car today and I'm looking at sand from the Sahara Desert on my car in the west of Scotland.
It's crazy,
which is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
think about it. A fucking camel could have walked on that sand, and now it's on my car in Glasgow town.
I'm not as warm as you're describing, John, but my face is very. I feel like Bob Monkhouse.
Yeah,
very shiny. Or Des O'Connor, that's shiny.
I mean, I've definitely got a shine, but I've always got a shine because I've perpetually got shea butter and shit like that in my face. So
have you ever seen? Have you ever seen Bob Monkhouse eat a Mars bar?
Yeah.
Did you see the lemon clip?
Yeah, Lemon showed it off.
That's crazy.
That's like someone that's got diabetes and trying to go over a hypo.
Yeah, yes. That's hilarious. Yeah, you get 10 seconds before I take it off you. Yeah. Well, I've not really got much more to say.
No, I don't want to see it happen, Stephen. There's no real way where you could, I don't know, present this story and make it work. The characters had his backstory. I suppose if you're continuing with the Guardians into a future movie and he's the leader, which I don't want to see. I want to see Chris Pratt back because he is Guardians of the Galaxy
he was
for me.
Fantastic in that third one, John. He really was. A lot of range of emotions in that character in that third one, obviously with the Gamora stuff going on, and then obviously the Rocket situation as well. A well-rounded character, well-written character, and I can't imagine too many people being able to pull that off in a film, like Chris Pratt did.
Oh, but they should have recast him, though. They should have recast him according to the fucking freak shows on social media.